Hello, gist lovers, and welcome back to Oba's Trending Gist. Get ready because today we are dissecting a major story that has Nigeria buzzing. So, the Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo, has dropped a bombshell, making moves that have completely flipped the script on two of the most talked about aviation incidents of the year. We are talking about Comfort Emmanson, the passenger in the Ibom Air incident, and Fuji musician K1 The Ultimate from the Value Jet saga. In a sweeping set of directives, Keyamo has ordered Emerson release from prison and the lifting of her lifetime flying ban. For K1, his 6 months ban has been drastically cut to just one, and all criminal complaints are being dropped. This has sparked a massive debate across the country. Is this swift justice or is it a classic case of Nigerian-style selective justice? Let us break it down. We will watch a clip from Arise News where Dr. Abati and Rufai Oseni give their expert analysis. First, let's hear the initial breakdown of Minister's order. So take a watch.
Got violent. Well, as we were on the air, Aviation Minister Festus Keyamo says he has now ordered 3 actions. For Ibom Air to first withdraw the complaint against her today, for the police to immediately take the steps to release her from Kirikiri prison this week, and finally, for the airline operators of Nigeria to lift the lifetime flying ban imposed on her, which he says they agreed to. As for K1, the musician who allegedly tried to board a Value Jet flight with alcohol a week prior, his flight ban has been reduced from 6 months to a 1-month period. Nigeria's Civil Aviation Authority is also withdrawing its criminal complaint against K1. And as for Captain Oluronti Ogoyi, who along with her co-pilot was suspended during that same K1 scenario, the NCAA is to restore their licenses after a 1-month ban. So the Minister of Aviation, he also called for a retreat to start next week to properly retrain aviation personnel on how to deal with disruptive passengers. And it's something the minister has also said the press will be able to cover, which is interesting. Things have moved very quickly as we've been following these 2 stories for the last week plus. So, Dr. Abati, Gen Z, I'll start with you. What's your reaction to this major development on both fronts here?
Okay, we've been on this all day. First, the minister saying opportunity will be given for the retraining of airline officials, airport officials. I think that is in order. Anytime there is a crisis of this nature, you cannot argue against, an opportunity for review, for resetting, for reflection, and then for lessons that may be learned, and for a collective consideration of what happened, what went wrong, what is the way forward, what lessons can we learn, what do we need to correct, at whatever level. So that's in order. The problem here is that the minister giving instructions to a regulatory agency like the NCAA. The NCAA, under its Enabling Act of 2018, is supposed to be an independent body. And now, whereas the minister may say he's in charge of aviation, I'm not sure that he has the powers to give express instructions to NCAA as to how you should conclude investigations or how you should go about it on a pending matter. We assume that the NCAA will have set up a body to conduct investigations, particularly into the Kwamwan case. That's the matter involving the Fuji Metro. Now, ahead of the conclusion of the investigation, the minister now says he has directed that the 6-month ban, or is it 1-month ban, pending investigations should be reduced to just 1 month, and that, in fact, Kwamwan should be made an ambassador to advise on protocols in airport operations, which I think is a bit, strange. It's like rewarding the musician for bad behavior. What we must say in this country is that, look, misconduct should be sanctioned. Impunity should be sanctioned. Whether you're a friend of the president or you come from the same ethnic region with the president, or you are an official entertainer of the federal government, no, all those are immaterial. Because all of us go abroad. You can't go abroad and misbehave at an airport, as one Dr. Zoe has pointed out, and you say, I have apologized, and you come up with a song to apologize. No, you will end up in detention. That's why Sean Diddy Combs has been in detention since last year. He's one of the wealthiest musicians in the world. The one says, no, you have no right to engage in transportation for prostitution purposes, which is even the least of the offenses charged against him. But here in Nigeria, if you say you are famous, do you know who I am? Then they will slap you on the wrist. That is where the question is. The other thing is the Kwamtu lady, the Miss Emmanson. Now we've been told she should be released from Kirikiri detention and all of that. Okay, the lifetime ban imposed on her by the Airlines Organization of Nigeria, AON. We understand, okay, that also should be reconsidered. But the other issue, which the Nigerian Bar Association is putting on the table, is that our rights have been violated. Our right to the dignity of the human person, Section 34. Our right to fair hearing, Sections 35 and 36. Our right to freedom of movement, Section 41. All our rights violated. Even our right to privacy, having been dehumanized and tortured and disgraced in public. And nobody has had our own side of the story. The only cinematographic evidence that is out there is a cinematographic evidence that does not tell us the full story. So these are the various dimensions of it. And I advise that now that the NBA and other civil society groups have offered pro bono legal services in favor of Ms. Emmanson, that she should make use of the opportunity and insist on her rights, because the law should be fair to everybody. The law must not be selective. No Nigerian is bigger than the other one. We are all citizens under the rule of law. I've seen some mischievous people saying that, well, some people have suffered damages, but I don't want to say that on television. That will be said off camera.
Okay, a lot to take in right there. So Dr. Abati's initial reaction is something we can all agree on. The idea of retraining aviation personnel is absolutely necessary. When you have repeated incident of conflict, you have to look at the training. You have to look at the training and protocol in place. It is a proactive step that could prevent future issues. However, he immediately pivoted to the heart of the matter, and this is where it gets complicated. He questions the legality and the propriety of the minister giving direct order to an independent regulatory body like the NCCA. This is a crucial point. The NCAA rather, is designed to be the impartial umpire in aviation industry. Its decision on licensing, ban, and penalties should be based on thorough independent investigation, not on a directive from a political appointee. Dr. Abati is essentially asking, is the minister playing the role of investigator, judge, and the jury all at once? This raises serious concern about the separation of power and the institutional integrity. When a minister can override a regulatory process with a press statement, it sets a dangerous precedent. Let's see how the conversation evolves as they dig deeper into the implications. So watch this.
Rufai.
Ewe origin mo jẹ́, ewe origin mo jẹ́ o. Ẹni bá ṣe kó foríjì mi, ewe origin mo jẹ́. What it means in very place. I have caught the leave of forgiveness. Anybody I've offended, anybody I've offended, forgive me. And that's the new song that Wasiu was singing somewhere. Truth is, but why are we surprised that it transpired this way? But this is Nigeria. When we say it here, some people shout, oh, we are hypocrites and all of that. But is this not the Nigeria we know? They aided one another. In fact, the lucky party here is that Comfort, this happened to her after something like Wasiu had happened. Because if it has not happened, she will have just languished in jail for the fun of it. It's because we now posited equivalence and said, oh, the law that applied to Wasiu, why shouldn't it apply to her? That's why she was lucky. But this is Nigeria now. Is this not the Nigeria that we know that security authorities will frame people? Are we acting like we don't know what goes on in Nigeria? Is this not the Nigeria that we know that EFCC will get into someone's apartment, destroy the person's property? How many of the rights have those people claimed in the name of looking for leads? Did this even one happen to a property owned by former president of the country, Olusegun Obasanjo? Is this not the country of selective justice? So why are we acting like this? In fact, the Kwam 1 case was already settled because since the apology, nobody was saying anything again. It was because of the public outcry, the IGP quickly now said, oh, let's start investigating the Kwam 1 case before they brought about this peace deal. I will never get to what was the investigation. And that was why I was saying that. Till today, has anybody checked what really happened with the Oshomole case? That's why when the Senate said they were going to investigate, I said, what's the Senate investigating? Is it the same Senate you and I know? Have they given us a report on what happened on the Oshomole case? So why are we talking like we don't know that this is Nigeria? Let me tell you what will probably...
The investigation may be ongoing.
As regards the Oshomole case.
It may be ongoing.
By the Senate.
Yes.
They investigate their own colleague. But yeah, okay, don't worry. If you believe that, Dr. Abati, then you will believe anything in this country. But as regards all of this that is happening, we are not oblivious of what Nigeria has become. It's still a country for those at the top. This morning you were trying so hard to defend the EFCC. I'm also defending them. But the EFCC makes me laugh. The same EFCC that had cases that were chasing people, once they got into power, the EFCC stopped chasing them. It's not that those people have immunity till date. We know those cases. We can mention a lot of them. But we don't want to shatter the table this morning. So is it that those that have files that are very full in the EFCC, that are serving in this government, is it that the EFCC, they didn't see that file again or they forgot it? And they will wait till they finish serving. So that's the country we have built in totality. What will probably happen is they will say, Comfort, you have been lucky, God has vindicated you. Just forget it. As regards the Wasu case, we will never set a precedent. They will also say, you know what, let's just allow it go. You know, he's apologized. Was it not government officials that were sharing Wasu's apology in the first place? People serving in government. Were they not the one that started sharing it since Friday to air is human? It's not a government official that started sharing Wasu's apology.
Can only reduce the sentence.
Dr. Abati.
He is, or what is called allocutus.
Dr. Abati.
He does not translate
Dr.
into
Abati.
innocence.
Dr. Abati, in a crime of that nature committed against government, it's the same government official that are coming to say to err is human, to err is human. So is that not the kind of country we live? So, see, to a large extent, we will never get to the end of this matter. That's the Nigeria I know. And it will happen again, and almost the same thing will happen again. Because till date, we don't even know in clear terms what a Washu's charge sheet will have looked like staying in front of a plane. So once we have seen all of that, and that's why I say culture will use strategy for breakfast.
On October 1, he will be invited to entertain people
the president,
during the independence celebrations. That's when you get your answer.
Ambassador Kwam 1. So, but today...
And there you have it, the crux of the Nigerian dilemma. Dr. Abati continues to argue from a standpoint of principle and law. He is appalled that bad behavior, especially from a public figure like K1, is not only being excused, but is seemingly being rewarded with an ambassadorial role. He highlights the impunity that this foster, where a simple apology song is seen as a substitute for real consequences. He rightly argues that no other serious country would handle a security breach in this manner. Then, Rufai Oseni comes in with the dose of reality that many Nigerians will find painfully familiar. He sings K1's new apology song, almost mocking the absurdity of the situation. His point is clear. Why are we surprised? This is Nigeria. He paints a picture of a nation where justice is not blind. But look very carefully at who you are and who you know. He suggests that Comfort Emmanson was only lucky because her case happened around the same time as K1's, forcing the authorities to create a semblance of balance. This perspective suggests that neither outcome was about true justice, but about managing public perception and catering to the elite. Now, for my take. After hearing both sides, I believe this situation is a perfect storm of everything that is wrong with our system. Rufai's cynicism is not just cynicism. It is a reflection of a lived reality of millions of Nigerians. This isn't just about two incidents, it's about the institutionalization of a two-tiered system of justice. Let's look at K1's case. Reducing a 6-month ban for a serious breach of airport security to 1 month is bad enough, but to then suggest he becomes an ambassador for proper airport security protocol, that is an insult to every single Nigerian who follows the rule every day. It is a move that sensitizes misconduct and tells the public that accountability is a joke. The system is rewarding the very behavior it should be punishing. This is a classic example of a light impunity. Then we have Comfort Emmanson. Her case is even more tragic. Was she a victim of a flawed system from the start? Was a lifetime ban an overzealous, knee-jerk reaction to public pressure? And is her release now also a result of political calculation rather than a fair review of her case? It seems she has been used as a pawn, first to demonstrate toughness and now to create a false equivalent with the leniency shown to a celebrity. Her rights and her dignity have been caught in the crossfire of a PR game. What Minister Keyamo has done is provide a quick, politically convenient fix that papers over the deep cracks in the system. But it doesn't solve the underlying problem. The problem is that our institutions are weak and susceptible to influence. The problem is that the law is applied selectively. True reform isn't about minister issuing directives. It's about building a system where the NCAA can conduct its investigation without fear or favor, where the police and court can act independently, and where every citizen, famous or not, is subject to the same law and consequences. What we have witnessed is not the strength of our system, but it is weakness. It is a system that can be bent and shaped by public outcry and political pressure, not one guided by firm, impartial principle. This is a complex issue with no easy answer. Do you see Keyamo's intervention as a necessary correction or a dangerous overreach? Is this justice or just Nigerian way? Drop your thoughts in the comment below. I want to hear what you think. If you found this analysis insightful, please hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe to Obas Trending Gist. Thank you for tuning in, and I will catch you in the next one.